Welcome to the new show that I will do about the newest news from the Magic the Gathering world. I will call it What Bubbles Up for now, because everything up to now has been water related, so might as well go with it. As you can see, we're really in the yellow theme here, and I like it that way. So today, I know there's one big thing. There's the Crimson Vow update, and the fact that it has been released, so a lot of people have been getting into opening those cards, which is amazing. But I also want to talk about some other things that I found entertaining, some videos from other creators that I found entertaining. And please tell me what kind of news you would appreciate, so that I can keep this as digestible as possible. I have put the lore related things at the end of the show, so that you will not get the spoilers immediately and you can just listen to the more practical stuff that has been released, if you do not want to read up on everything, and I am doing so anyways as a content creator, so might as well share it here. So like I said, Crimson Vow has been released. Everyone is playing it. I'm really curious, what is something that you have opened that you really liked, or is the format, is the draft format maybe, or like the new standard something that you really like, and some other products that we will get into later. So what we will go by is the Magic the Gathering news, like the dates of the Kamigawa set that have been released, the Crimson Vow design updates, so there are a lot of more variants that have been released, but also new products. And at least there's one new product that I think is a good idea but could be fleshed out a little bit more, but we'll get into that as well. And of course the story stuff that we will get into. I will show some videos that I really liked from other creators, as I said, from Lore Seeker and Dice Try. Mostly at this time it's videos that I have watched, but I'm open to see new creators, and if there are some niche creators that have uploaded, I will share those as well, of course, if I like them, the videos. So, and the storage updates will be in short, it will be in the end, but there will be spoilers, or there might be spoilers or things you might not want to know. I try to keep them out, so I try to look at them like how do I not spoil anything but still give you the updates so that you know what is happening in the lore. But let's begin from the original source, the mothership, the Magic the Gathering update page. There's one big thing that I always like to read through, which is I think yearly, where the mechanical color pie gets updated, and I have taken the biggest updates out of those. What I see is that animating artifacts will be going into blue and green officially. Green is a little bit of a weird one there, we know it is in blue. And the same goes for animating enchantments in white or blue and then not in green, where it still is an enchantment color, but it's not about animating the enchantments apparently. Banishing creatures is now only in white, which I think is a cool addition, because white needs its strength, and we see this a lot in the other updates as well, that they really focused on giving white some more power and keeping green down a little bit as well, where green is now promised to get less draw, while red gets more impulsive draw, which is draw that you have to use for this turn. White gets to destroy more single creatures, which is a good advancement, I think, because white really needed the strength to have answers to the board as well. And they can do so. The only downside is that they will have to give something to your opponent, and if that is giving life, that's no problem at all. Also, white is now the color of legendaries and low mana value creatures, which I kind of already knew this, but I think it's interesting that it's now official, and it might give them some more good designs later on, which I like. There has been one secret lair that has dropped here. It was the extra life one, something that you can't really go against. I think that shouldn't be a bad thing on its own. Just if you don't like the secret lairs at all, that is something that you would be against. So there are also a lot of new products, like I said. So all the products that have come out, there are a lot. So Crimson Vow features a lot of variants for the cards, and we see it on Sorin, for example, who has 4 versions of himself in this one set for the same card, which is a lot. If you want to collect them all, you will have to do your best. And we can see this here as well. There will be pre-release packs, set boosters, draft boosters, collector boosters. There will be theme boosters for each color and one for vampires on their own. There will be bundles and bundle gift editions, which feature an extra collector booster. And there are 2 new commander decks for spirits, which is led by Millicent, who we have already seen in the story. It's a spirit that now wants to hunt down an evil spirit, basically, who had let loose thousands of spirits, and she also wants to protect the spirit mage, or the Geist mage, that has saved her. And there is a commander deck for Straffen, not Stefan, the progenitor of the Mauer, who I think has not yet featured in the new stories yet. And like I said, there is a new edition, a new kind of product, which is not really new. It has been around in the form of welcome decks. Now there is the welcome booster, which will be available only in North America, is what they said. But I guess that shops around Europe and anywhere else can get these as well, I think, maybe. And then they can share them around. I think it's cool. I like the welcome decks more because they really helped you build a simple deck, but maybe the welcome boosters will do that as well. I think they want people to get into the boosters, not into the really well-made decks, apparently. But it's cool that they're giving out gifts again. I hope it will be there for a long time, and maybe they will develop it back into welcome decks again. I'm all for it. Crimson Vow also has some new mechanics. We've seen that the mechanics have shifted around in colors, but there are some new ones as well, which are Cleave, which is in, I think, all the colors, where you get to cut out part of the text to make a card stronger. Blood tokens, or which let you loot, which is an artifact that lets you loot. So it's kind of like a clue, but they didn't want to make a clue again. But it does feel like Innistrad to have an artifact to sack immediately. And training, where white and green mostly strengthen a creature for attacking with a stronger mentor, which does feel Celestian. And exploit in blue-black, sort of the opponent there. Strange that I did not make a rival smaller deck for that. But exploit is a mechanic that lets you sacrifice a creature for another effect. So you enter a creature, it exploits another creature, and you get an effect. You probably already heard of this, but it's new for November. That's how fast things go here. And talking about going really fast is February and January of next year, because then Kamigawa will come out on the 17th of February, which is the biggest news here, that we know exactly when it comes out and we can plan for it as creators at least. But if you want to buy the product, or you want to see more Kamigawa story, which I can understand, it's a great story, or it was at least. You will want to know when it comes out, and previews start at the 27th of January. On the 21st of January, there will be previews for the double feature set, which is a set containing Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow at once, making it better, maybe. And the Black Commander collection box around that time as well, so that just after that, apparently, there will be a new way to play Commander. It's everything they released about that. So a lot of things to come in January. Like I said, things are going really fast. Another thing I want to go into is the videos that I think you should watch, or not shoot, but which are cool to watch, which is firstly the video about Dovin Baan by Lore Seeker. I think he has put a lot of effort into this video, and you can really see that he fleshed the character out. I think that's cool. It's kind of like a deep dive like that. So if you like those videos, I think you will like the one about Dovin Baan as well. So the link will be in the top right corner. Don't know where that will be, to be honest. I think there probably. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments. Another video, What's Your Color by Dicery, the person who knows everything about colors and has made a lot of videos about colors as well. Helps you through choosing the one color, so the mono color that fits you best. And I think that's something to check out as well. It's really short. I think it's 16 minutes. Not really short, but like you can go through it easily, or maybe just watch the color that you really like. So those are the two videos that really sprung out to me this month. There will be a lot more later because I will be looking out for them. Like how it goes is I get an idea and I go make it like a week later. So that's how this one went as well. So a lot more videos to watch for later. Story updates. So we have had 3 episodes of the new main story already. The main story is about Olivia, who is getting married. And this brings Sorin Markov in a really gloomy mood. He is not ready for the lady to get married at all. He doesn't want to, not because he likes her, but because he hates her, and he doesn't want her to get married. Because if you know, when vampires or people from like medieval times would marry, they would gain a lot of power from it. They would just do it for the power, and the same goes for Olivia. While Sorin was fighting off Sigarda, something of importance got stolen from him, and that thing was the casket of his grandfather, Edgar Markov. So his grandfather is stolen, and he's not dead. He's just in there, laying dormant because he wasn't bored with the current state of the world. So he wanted to wake up when things were fun again, and so he did. So he woke up on his own wedding day with his own rival. Sorin got really mad that the casket got stolen from him, but then Arlen, Chandra, Teferi, Adeline and Kaya all walked into his manor and asked him to help with getting the Moon Silver key back. So Sorin agrees because he just wants to stop Olivia, but he is the only one that can go into the castle because he is the only one that got an invitation. People cannot go in. If you go in without an invitation, you will be burned to crisps. So Sorin walked in, and here's where the real spoilers I think come in. So click away if you don't want to hear this. But are you gone? Good. Sigarda, who Sorin had previously been fighting, was captured. In her own wings, fell from the sky in Olivia's huge castle, and Sorin felt really bad about it all of a sudden. He had been fighting her before, but now that he sees her in the hands of Olivia, he feels bad because she reminds him of Avacyn, and apparently he needed this extra trauma to open the door to his previous one, because now he attacks Olivia. Olivia drops the Moon Silver key, which she had been holding for some reason, maybe to finish the ritual that she wanted to do on the angel, on Sigarda. But she dropped it, and out came flying the spirit of Catilda the Dawnheart Prime, something like that, or at least the leader of the Dawnheart Coven. the spirits shot a bolt of light energy at Olivia and at Sigarda, who now was really angry and wanted to kill all the vampires. And outside, Chandra is flirting with Adeline. And maybe Chandra and Adeline and all the others will go in now. We don't know, we just saw the flirting. Did the magic barrier falter as well? We don't know either. But I guess they will go in for a last Avengers battle. So that's what happened in the main story. In the side stories we have one story called The Edge of the World, where Jacob Hauken, which is a legendary creature, struggles to find a safe place on Innistrad. There's none left when now that the night is eternal. But he rests down in a city where he was called for an investigation. He had to investigate a geist bombing there of a mad alchemist who lives with the rich people there for some reason. But when the guys rush past Jacob, he feels, and I think this is beautifully written, the world around them explodes into the shivering fog of geists. They stream up from the ground, from inside the adjacent buildings, and down from the slate grey sky. Cool, slithery, magic paints over Jacob's skin. The smoky voices of emotion scrabbling to find a way inside him. Fear, regret, sorrow, excitement, and rage, burning bright and hot inside his chest. So in this town that Jacob's helping, everyone knows his name for some reason. He doesn't think about that though, even though there are ghosts that can possess people. But you can figure the rest of the story out. And we have seen the legendary commander. If you want to play the blue-white spirits deck, I would recommend you to read this story, because your commander will feature in this one as well. So, to not go into that too much, we have another cool story, which is the Blessing of Blood, where Thalia, who you all probably know, but if you don't, well, don't look into it too much. But it's a cool story. It has been a cool story before. But it's the story of Thalia and Odric, both original Innistrad badass warriors. And it begins with letters, which is a cool theme on Innistrad, where, for example, Giza and Geralf sent letters to each other as well. Thalia now sends one to Odric, and I think it's a cool theme. It might mean some stuff. Won't go into that too much here. Might later, but it's not time for plugins. The story continues with the loss of faith on Innistrad. Avacyn is gone, and people really don't have any hope yet anymore. And we see Lady Henrika, who is a vampire under the demon Ormondal, come in. She apparently has tentacles, and her demon lord has been possessed by Emrakul. So probably meaning and showing that there are still influences of Emrakul on this world. Ormondal needs more power, like all demons do. He needs priests and a relic of Avacyn to perform a ritual to get more strength, basically. And like many new Innistrad stories, it's not about horror, it's about the disgust that you feel when something you love gets defiled. And I think it's a theme that they put into the story, and it's a dangerous theme because you are playing with the stories that people really like, and it's in real life as well that people are afraid to lose these things, are afraid to lose Odric and Thalia, and now you're playing with it because Avacyn's stairs are being defiled by devil's blood. We see some other things, beautiful things get defiled, and then our hero Odric himself gets defiled. But this is actually the best story I think of this month, because some things cannot be defiled, and I think you should read this, especially if you like Odric. And I think even though you might have to look through things, I think you can still like the new Odric card because of this story. So, not going much more into that. There's the last story of Survivors, where Torrance is a merchant, sort of, traveling Innistrad, but he is kind of lying about his goods. and he's being followed by the Innistrad police, so you instantly wonder what is happening with this man. Apparently he was even religious. He was in the one of the Cathars. He's a big man, and he steals, but he is still kind. And he helps a rich family there, mostly because he says he wants the money, but also because he helps a small boy there, who it doesn't finish well for the boy. So don't get too attached. I often make that mistake. But he works together with the son of a wealthy man who is another son. It's a big dude. He bullies Alexander, who is the small boy, and then Torrance allows Alexander to join him on his mission. So his mission is to go into haunted mansion and drive the spirits out. Meanwhile, we learn that Torrance really doesn't like bullying, and that is because his brother was sort of a bully, and Torrance was a thief and a rogue, and he thought that he could never be as good as his brother. But once Torrance turned to the good side, he became religious and whatever. His brother went to the chaotic side more, and when Torrance found out that his brother got turned to the evil side, his brother was already lost and he never found him again. So in the present time, we see Torrance meeting with Aerith, the possessed lady with all the devils in her cart, and he went to confront Alexander, who he had lost now. We had lost now, and now he has to choose which of the evils is worse. The fear of evil from Alexander, the fear of actual fear, the fear of madness, which comes from the lady, which comes from Aerith, or the evil of grief that he feels for his brother. And those are the things he has to choose between and find a solution for. I think it's an okay story. I don't think it's the one you really need to watch. There are not really characters in there that you have heard about before. Only, I think, if you are curious about Aerith or Torrance, you can really go into the story and like it. But otherwise, not really a big thing to look out for, I don't think. So that was it for the news of this month. Next month I will do this again, and please tell me what you liked about it, what you would like to hear more of. Maybe there's more design stuff that you would like to hear about. There's a lot about that as well often. Maybe some more gameplay things like tournaments, because I watch those as well. Maybe I just thought those are more about the spoilers than anything. There are some small tournaments that you maybe have not heard about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, just tell me what you like to hear more about. Maybe it's more lore. Maybe you want to go into that a bit more, some more reading or whatever. So tell me that, and have a nice day. Bye.